Remember, guys, obey my commands at all times. Let's have a good, clean fight. Touch him up.
Yo guys, welcome back to Erebos Gaming HD. So another Fight Night video on head-to-head again, and I'm Roy Jones Jr. against Smokin Joe Frazier, I believe his nickname is. So it's just a standard fight, really, just to show you guys, you know, how it went down. And there's plenty of YouTubers out there that do, you know, World Championship fights. You know, Dave the Rip one, Doc Dozer, I mean, Fight Night's Finest. Loads of other people do World Championship fights. So without stepping on other people's toes, you know, easiest thing for me to do is head-to-head. I've already won the belt on World Championship mode, so you know, there's not much else to prove there. So I'm happy just sticking with these. It's pretty simple. You get similar fighters all the time, but that's the only problem. But luckily this guy picked Joe Frazier, and you know, it was a cracking little fight. I mean, being light heavyweight, you're obviously, it's a slight disadvantage, but as I said in previous videos, Roy Jones has got that speed and he's got that ability to get them counter shots in, which is pretty much what you're going after all the time. So obviously, I'm just basically trying to do the old, you know, step back hook, step back straight, you know, all the ways to counter, you know, side step hook and all that crap. So if any of you are wondering why I'm saying hook as hook and not hook, it's because I'm not snobby. I'm sure people in my clan are already laughing about that, you know, with the old hook thing. But anyway, back to the fight. You know, it's a pretty standard fight. He comes at me as you'd expect him to. He comes at me hooking the body. As soon as he comes at me hooking at the head, and then when he gets close, he goes for the body. But obviously at that time, to put him straight on his ass. But he does try and come forward. He does try and get to your body, do several hooks to your body just to try and slow me down. Which, to be fair, isn't a bad tactic against Roy Jones. Except, you know, if you're against somebody that knows how to counter punch, then you're just walking into a whirlwind of punches. So, I mean, I can't really say what I'd do if I was this guy, because obviously, you know, I have got the speed and I have got the counter ability, but I mean, if I was him, I'd probably be throwing a lot less punches, and I'd be trying to make Roy Jones throw more punches, but he's just beating me to the punch, and not in the way that he's actually hitting me first, he's just actually throwing before I get a chance to. So sometimes you might find that he starts throwing and I just walk away, because there's no point walking into punches. You may as well just wait till he's stopped and then, you know, sneak in after that. So that's the end of round one. You know, guaranteed win for me with a knockdown, so I haven't got to worry too much. And obviously, when I do get close to this guy, I do want to go to his body at this stage, because I know that he's throwing a lot of punches. I know that he's tiring himself out, and I know that he isn't going to be recovering much at the end of the round. So if I take to his body, I'm just making that even worse for him, and I'm making his stamina even less. So that one of two things is going to happen: either he's going to go into a shell and just walk away and trying to get that stamina back, or he's just going to walk forward and be reckless trying to get that knockdown, because he knows that his stamina is running low. So I think you find in this fight that obviously with his stamina getting low, he just starts to wing it and just starts trying to come forward, which is ideal for me. But even if he'd have walked away, you know, Roy Jones has got that reach, he's got that speed. You know, I'd have pulled him apart anyway, really. Well, I say that, I mean, I think I would have. But this guy, he made his choice, he starts coming forward. I mean, it's only round two. I mean, he obviously should really be going forward to this stage, but you sort of start to see in the next round, you know, the fatigue sort of setting in on him. So when he gets close and doing an uppercut to the head, he sort of blocks to the head and then I'm hooking to the body, or just generally just shoot punch into the body, because, you know, as I said previously, I'm just trying to wear that stamina as much as possible. But I'm going for the head as well, just to throw him off so he doesn't just start doing power straights, you know, as I come in for the body shot. So, you know, I do apologise if this doesn't make much sense to you guys. I'm explaining it the way that I sort of know the game. This game's been out a long time, and everyone's got their own little terminology, everyone's got their own ways of going about things. Mine's just, I'm a very adaptive fighter. I don't tend to impose myself, I tend to adjust to people, and you know, I always go for the knockout as well. You know, there's very few fights that I've been involved in that have gone to points. Dave the Rip one went to points, he got a good win against me with points, and you know, they're the sort of fights, I guess, if you're playing in league matches, as those guys do, then, you know, obviously winning on points is just as good as a knockout. But to me, if I'm sitting down on a Friday or Saturday night and I just want a few fights, I just want to be knocking people out. I don't want to be sitting there for 20 minutes, you know, just throwing random punches, you know. So that's that out of the way. So you guys know, obviously, I'm always going for the knockout, and even with Roy Jones, who's probably more of a points winner, you know, you can still get a knockout with him quite easily. So you can start to see now how he's more fatigued. He's throwing. You notice he's starting to throw more jabs, and when people start to throw more jabs near, mid-fight, mid-rounds, you know that they're doing it in replace of other punches because they don't want to waste the stamina. So with this guy who didn't throw many jabs at the start, now he's starting to. That's an indication for me that he's getting weaker. It's not always the case, but it's generally the case. If people start throwing more jabs, it's because they're getting weaker and they don't want to waste that little bit of stamina that they've got left. So he called me with a good hook there, to be fair, and I replied with an uppercut. And I think I mentioned this in a video before. If people land a counter shot on you, you want to make sure you land at least one back, preferably two, because counter shots get you the win for the round, and the counter shots will increase your regeneration rate at the end of the round, assuming that you haven't wasted a crap load of punches as well. There's a tight sort of balance in there, but if you land more counters and you land more clean shots, not only will you regenerate more stamina and health at the end of the round, but obviously you're more likely to win the round. So it's always beneficial to sort of play as if you're sort of going for points, and then mid-rounds just take them out. So not to give too much of my tactic away, but that's just generally how I go about it. I sort of try and win the first few rounds. Don't necessarily care too much about winning the first few rounds, if I'm honest with you. I just play as though I am trying to win the round, and then obviously they throw a few more, and then mid-rounds when they're not expecting it, I just unleash and hopefully take them out. So this guy's got me in the corner, and if he's got me in the corner, he should be really taking me out. He should be making the most of knocking me out in the corner. He should be punching me about in the corner, but that's another indication that he's weak, because he isn't going for the shots when I'm on the ropes, which is at the start of the fight. That's all he could have hoped for, is to get me on the ropes, and obviously without that happening, with that happening, with him getting me on the ropes and him not doing anything, then it sort of gives an indication to me that obviously he's weak. Throwing punches before I'm even there again shows me that he's a bit agitated. I know this guy is not happy to be chasing me around all the time like this, but at the same time he doesn't want to be getting too close, because he's getting beat to the punch now because he's got less stamina. And my stamina isn't fantastic for round 4. I mean, I've had it higher before, and I'm sure plenty of people could have it much higher, but I don't think you'd get it higher than this with more damage done, because I've landed a few killer shots on him, and 2 shots to the head there and he was down, and he was basically just a jab straight. That guy was on critical stun. So I know this guy hasn't got much left in him, but I'm not going to take it. I'm not going to take it lightly, because Roy Jones has got a killer hook and a killer left hook at that. If he catches me with one of them, he could turn the fight around straight away. So I'm not going to be silly about it. I'm just going to stick to what I was doing, but maybe put a little bit more pressure on the pedal. Just going down a little bit more than maybe I would have when I'm closer, because I know that he is weak. And you can see also that he's moving a little bit slower as well. That's not a good sign for him. And nothing against him either. He's picked Joe Frazier. He hasn't been Tyson or Isaac Frost or anyone like that. So you can give him some credit there. He's trying his best with a guy that at this point now in the fight, it's going to be really hard to win now. For him to win now, it's down to me. I've got to make a major mistake now for him to win this fight. And it's just unfortunate. You can't win all the fights. And this guy, he's not a bad fighter by any stretch of the imagination. He's come in expecting a particular type of fight, and it's been a little bit different for him. So nothing against the guy. He doesn't send me any daft messages. I think he actually says good game at the end of this. So it's a lot better than what you can say for most fighters in this game. Anyway, a lot of them will jump at the chance to call you all the names under the sun. And again, he's coming forward. I'm moving away because I know that he's just wasting punches now. I'm just sort of solidifying the win. I'm just making sure that at the end of this round I don't waste too much stamina. I make sure I recover quite a lot at the end of this round, and I know for a fact he wouldn't have recovered much. So as you can see by my stamina bar, quite a good improvement. I think I've actually got more stamina at the start of this round than I did at the start of the last round. I mean, if not, it's very, very close. So that's basically a free round for me. It didn't cost me anything as far as stamina is concerned. And I know for a fact that Joe Frazier is definitely weak now, because he was just throwing punches like crazy at the end of that last round. And that was a good little left hook counter there. And this guy just stands still now. I don't think he's just completely given up, just walked away from the PlayStation sort of thing. Throws a few punches there, but didn't get him out of trouble. And it's quite unfortunate, really, because it was a very good fight. I was enjoying the fight, and he doesn't even bother to get up here. So if there's any particular fights you'd like to see, guys, any characters you'd like me to play, then let us know in the comments. And as always, if you liked it, please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you later. Bye bye.
was a knockout